Yeah. Yeah.
Darshaun.
Yeah, so we're going to talk to Darshaun for a second. You know, Darshaun, I made the point earlier in today's stream that Chris Rock was very well aware of the racial, the social racial implications if he would have retaliated. What do you think? What do you think about my take, my analysis on that?
Yeah, I mean, your analysis it is correct. However, the actions of Will Smith doesn't warrant what was supposed to happen. You know, you don't have to. Well, you're not supposed to go attack a man because he's making a joke about your wife. You know, I'm married.
You're a professional comedian.
Well, I mean, but you got to understand. So I'm in the industry, right? So I've been on sets and I've done commercials, and in that particular instance at the Oscars, when there's the award ceremonies, that's a part of the host. That's their job, you know, and that's why Chris Rock was able to remain professional, although he got slapped the way he did. He was able to continue the show. There's an old saying in there that says the show must go on. Right. So what Will Smith did was it's not a good look on black men who are trying to be professional, because at some point the world still looks at us as like, you know what, listen, they can't even maintain themselves, you know, and that's been my whole biggest gripe about what I do. It's not that I'm trying to show the world like, hey, we're different over here. It's just like, don't put all of us black men in the same category, because if I was in that instance, I understand that Jada has alopecia. I understand that. And it's a medical condition. It's hereditary and all that good stuff. But I have to also understand that I'm at the Oscars about to receive one of the biggest awards in my lifetime. And this is going to be a part of my legacy for myself personally. I'm not going to let Chris Rock allow my moment to be diminished by a joke about my wife. I mean, I even asked my own wife about it. I say, hey, do you think Will Smith was right about what he did? And she was like, no, what should have happened was Jada should have stopped Will Smith from going up there, from embarrassing himself.
But she's the one that sent them up there. That's my whole issue with it. Everybody's like, oh my God, Will is defending her honor. The nigga laughed first. He laughed first.
It's crazy.
It's unfortunate because, like I said, a lot of Will's accomplishments are being thrown out the window. Even that night, right? Like you said, wins an Oscar, an amazing honor for him. You know, like he's kind of breaking ground in a lot of ways, showing that, you know, artists can become very good actors. And I don't know, man. It's really sad to see him just in this moment completely embarrass himself. Like,
well, let me tell you.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, let me explain this. I did a stream about it last night, and one of the biggest things I pointed out was how quickly someone can rise to success and how quickly you can fall down. Let me be very clear. Yeah, Will Smith probably has some money. I've never seen his bank account, so I don't believe it until I see it. But what I do know is, so I mean, that's what they say. I haven't seen his bank account, so I don't believe when people say they have a certain amount of money. You have to show me that you have it, right? Because his actions don't dictate that he has $400 billion. That's not what people do who have money. You don't attack people when you have money. So that's so my point is, that's our public image as black men. How many black men have you seen who are wealthy that are going out there acting a motherfucking fool? I mean, you've got Kanye West. Remember, you know, I just.
Well, to be fair though, you have a bunch of white fucking people doing this stupid shit, and unfairly,
nobody calls them out on it the same way.
Well, okay, to be fair though, there's some bias. Like most people, I'd say most common sense people these days do call them out. Like what was that? Like there was somebody that had like an assault, like I think it was a Bieber or somebody. Like everyone roasted him for it. It's like, bro, like, you know, you can't, when you have that money, and he's absolutely right. When you have that amount of money, like, why fight? Like, it makes no sense. Like, you have so much to lose.
And that wasn't his first instinct.
Oh.
His first instinct wasn't to go assault Chris Rock.
Yeah. Well, you know, here's the thing. What I was trying to say was, you know, look how quickly. So what a lot of people have to understand in that industry. You have marketing agencies that are behind you. You have film production companies that are behind you. Now he's going to get pulled. He's going to lose deals. Okay, he's going to lose deals, and it's always this controversy over a woman. All the greatest wars have probably been taking place because of a woman. Most of the confrontations happen over a woman. So it's like a lot of men have to really control their emotions when it comes down to women. Yes, you can love your wife. Yes, you can protect your wife if someone physically assaults her. But sometimes, just sometimes, some of these words gotta go out the window.
No,
Yep.
absolutely. Like, you know, what's the old saying? Sticks and stones may break my bones,
Right.
but words
But
will
I
never
think-
hurt me.
But
Like,
I think that was Will Smith's first instinct. His first instinct was to follow that. And I said it earlier in today's show. I believe that Will Smith could have taken back the narrative if he would have just laughed in her fucking face along with everybody else in the building, because that was his first instinct. And all the emasculating things that she's been doing over the last 2 years in public, and making sure everybody knows how little respect that she has for him. If he would have just let that rock.
Yeah, no, it would have been looked in a way. And like, as for marketing and advertising, I think Slap Shop should reach out to Will Smith, because I think that'd be kind of a solid little marketing ploy. But I do agree. I think like I think that.
Slap all your troubles away with the slap chop. Stop having a boring tuna. Stop having a boring life.
Just like he has the onions, he's chopping it. I'm tired of entanglements. It just starts. But
Darshaun, you were saying, because you're bringing up some really awesome points.
Yeah, you are. Sorry.
Yeah, listen, you guys are right. That would be funny, and I'm pretty sure there are some companies that are going to reach out to him. But here's one thing I notice about life, and when it comes down to business and relationships, you can ruin your whole entire life over one post, over one tweet, over one action, because there are some people in the world. As we can see, there are a lot of people who were actually looking at Will Smith like the totem pole of the role model of the world. And to see that display, a lot of people know, hey, man, that was not the right thing to do. I'm not going to mess with you. I can't rock with you. Yeah, you were trying to defend your wife, but on what grounds, man? On what grounds? Look what she did to you. Did she go smack anybody for you? No, actually, what she did was
she
made
got
it more known
for him. By August,
she made it more
August
known.
was smacking it from behind.
Yeah, and then had the audacity to say the word entanglement, and he said, entanglement? You mean the relationship? The relationship you had with this guy that was never supposed to come out? So when Will Smith and Jada, when they first talked about their open marriage, it was on the grounds of, I let Will go see other people. He let me go see other people. Then it turned into sex. See, that was what their open marriage was about at first.
No,
then
but that's what they said. But then Will admitted that it was on her because she didn't want a traditional relationship. He then put it on her. Yeah. That's what she wanted to do.
It's so funny. As I look through the Twitters and the Instagram, a lot of men and women feel that, you know what, this is what Will Smith deserves.
I can't disagree.
It's just, you kind of like, you reap what you sow.
Yeah.
And we can blame his father for not being there, because obviously he was raised under a single mother. And you, Darshaun, as a father who has a daughter, and everything that you're doing to as a businessman, but also as just a normal man, to teach her, how to interact with men. And, Will was never really taught to be a man or how to interact with women on a masculine level. Mm-hmm. And again, Will Smith, no matter how objectively physically attractive he is, how tall he is, how wealthy, how famous he is, if you're not the woman's first choice, you are the first loser.
Yeah.
And one thing that you said, I'm gonna adjust one of the things you said earlier, and then see if you agree with this. You said it's real. The ascension is quick and the descension is quick, right? Mm-hmm. In Will Smith's case, is that actually the truth? Because he built up his public reputation over the span of 30 years, and he destroyed it in 2 years.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look what happened to the great Robin Williams. He took himself out. So men like Will Smith, it looks good. It looks very glamorous. The perception looks very glamorous. But as we can see, there's something terribly wrong on the inside. And men of his caliber take themselves out every single day.
Yep.
Men that we don't even know.
We just lost Taylor Hawkins to drugs 20 years after he almost died from a drug overdose.
Yeah. So, no one's exempt from the emotion. What we try to teach men is to not go overboard with your emotions. I see a lot of us men, when we get into relationships and get married, sometimes we feel like there's not going to be another woman that's going to treat me a certain type of way, because if this woman is doing this, then probably the next one's going to be the same way. Yep. And listen, I talk to lawyers all the time, divorce lawyers all the time, men and women, and they say the TLA? Easiest thing to do. Huh?
Talk to TLA?
Oh, no, not TLA. I'm still kind of iffy on TLA. But I talk to these lawyers. Yeah, I talk to these lawyers, and they say, you know what? In all honesty, it really is easy to get a divorce. It's just that people don't want to.
Mm-hmm. Men don't leave their relationships. Men try to stay in these relationships. Divorces are like 70-30 across the board of women filing. And in the Black community, the ratio is even more stark.
Well, what I will say is that I think young men, and a lot of men have a struggle, is that they'll date a girl, right? And that girl won't necessarily be the perfect fit, right? Or won't respect him in a manner, but they'll stay because they feel like, I feel like men like, oh, is that my only option if you have low self-esteem? Or they're just like, whatever, I'll just deal with it. And I think like a lot of guys don't learn from their past experiences and learn to stay away from a certain type of woman. Because I know in my own personal life, right, dated a few different types of girls. I'm like, you pick and choose what you like. But I think like a guy like Will Smith, it is kind of saddening in a way. Instead of like, okay, maybe moving on and maybe finding somebody that could vibe with him in a better way, he's just staying inside this toxic relationship where he's continually publicly humiliated, emasculated, and essentially has become a laughingstock to the whole wide world. And I think as men, it's like, it's perfectly healthy if a relationship's not working out. Obviously we can have a discussion about maybe getting prenups if you are making that level of money and kind of making sure your financials are straight, but just kind of getting out of that toxic environment and learning, or getting somebody to respect you as a person and as a man. That's the most important part. And I think Will just, I don't know, man, like just from what I've seen with these red tabletops and like the clips about her talking about Tupac and how she wishes Tupac was still alive because she would have been married to Tupac, like just the open disrespect. It's like, how much can one man take? Because I know personally, I'd be like, yo, fuck off. Like, I'm good. Like, see you later. You know what I mean?
Because Will Smith can have any woman on planet Earth, literally.
Bro, like, dog.
That dude could come in my house and smash my women, and I just would be like, damn, it is Will Smith.
Listen, like, dude, listen, like, I'm a one, right? And I, like, got women, like, getting to me, like, oh, yo, like, could you buy me a house and shit like that? I'm like, nah, see you later. I just moved on to the next one. Like, Will Smith's a 10, make a ton of money and shit.
You ain't a one, Paul. Come on, man.
Bro, listen, like, yo, let me self-roast myself. Calm down. But I'm just saying.
You're a solid 2.5, son.
I'm so beautiful. Thank you. But I think that, like, a dude like that, like, I was able to move on. Like, that dude, like, making way more money, way more popularity, could get any girl in the world. Like, bro, have some self-respect.
But he doesn't.
That's what's sad to see as a man. Like, bro, like, when I have kids, because I want to have a boy, girl, whatever. Like, if I have a son, like, yo, I want to teach him, like, yo, you need to have self-respect. You know what I mean? Like, that's the most important part. Like, you got to be able to look in the mirror as a man and, respect what you see.
Yeah.
And I just don't think Will Smith has that.